Alright, so I was waiting on a few other things to get installed, and now they are all installed, and now we're ready to finish up the projector. Got the base. I got a 6" by 1.5" piece of pipe, and the Chief universal mount. Of course, this has legs. It's going to mount to the projector itself, but I already kind of fit these in place. The good thing is, if I have to move the projector up and down, I can just buy different lengths of pipe, depending on the screen, how high the screen is going to be, but probably going to use a 6" pipe. We'll see. Let's get it going. Okay, so as I said before, I went with a Chief mount. We've already got the mount up on the ceiling. It's a 24" on center mount, along with a 16" on center mount. That's for the instructions here. Then I've got you gotta go to Home Depot to get the pipe yourself. Then I got a piece that screws into the pipe. I don't know what all these names are. Projector mount. Then you've got the base that actually goes to the projector with the legs. Now, I took a long time trying to decide exactly which mount to buy. Whether I could make my own mount, go with a cheaper mount, go with a Chief mount, I don't know. The reason why I went with a Chief mount is, and I alluded to it before, is why take such an expensive projector and hang it from a cheap $20 mount? Doesn't make sense. So I went ahead and saved up a little bit of money and bought a good mount. Now they have mounts made specifically for my type of projector. I decided to go with the universal mount because I'm probably not going to have that projector the rest of my life. More likely I'm not going to. So then I can take this mount. Hopefully we stay here the rest of our lives doing all this work on this house. But I can use this mount with just about any other projector. So that way the money I spent on this expensive mount is money well spent, because I can keep on using it. Now I get to try to figure out how to put it together. 3 sets of instructions. I got this piece up already, so it's done. Now the next one.
Yeah.
Another great feature about this mount is locking feature and the ability to take the projector down without having to take a bunch of stuff apart. As you see, you have an adjustment here. There's another adjustment in the back. You can adjust for all kind of tilt. This mount up here helps me adjust it closer to the screen or further away from the screen. So it's 24" on center. Obviously, I have probably about 20" of travel to compensate for that, along with zoom with the lens. But all you have to do is, right now, it is locked. The lever right here. So I don't have the mount on it yet from the projector, but you can imagine the mount that actually screws to the projector on here, on the bottom of this, it's locked in place. You have a key, comes with the keys. Unlock it, put that tab to the other side, pull your projector down. Obviously you want to hold the projector when you unlock it, but then to put it back in place, push it up. You'll see when I put the projector on, the pins are going to come up into these holes. Lock it back in place, take the key with you. Alright, so first of all, this is not an unboxing video. I'll be the first one to tell you that I know little to just about nothing about projectors, sound systems, things like that. But another reason for this channel and showing all this is that somebody that doesn't know anything about this can have a nice movie theater, spend their money wisely and still have a good looking, great sounding movie theater. So this is a Sony VPL-HW45ES. I don't know what all that means, but what I do know is it's a 1080p projector. I know. Why are you getting a brand new movie theater and you didn't get a 4K projector? Well, have you seen how expensive those things are? So to me, it really wasn't worth it. Plus, a lot of the content is not 4K, so you really got to have a lot of other 4K things to have an actual 4K experience. So for me, I'm not going to have all that high dollar stuff to make the image that actually comes out onto the screen an actual 4K image. So because of that, I'm going to save some money. I'm going to go with an older projector and still get a good experience. Now when 4K gets old, when they come out with 8K or 36,000K or whatever, then I'll get a 4K if they're on sale, if they're a good deal. Now this is still an expensive projector, but it's one of the older ones. It has a few little minor issues. One of them is I heard that the lamp has issues when you put it into power save mode. It could have issues, stuff like that. You can look it up just like I did. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to run it in power save mode, whatever the mode is called. But I'm just going to run it with the full brightness of the lamp. Another thing, it's only 1800 lumens. So if you have an environment that's going to have a lot of ambient light, it's going to be something you might not want to, it may not be bright enough for you. We're going to have all controlled light with a blacked out room, and look at this remote. How can this thing not be impressive with a remote that big? So I just had to get the projector out so we can finish the install. So be real careful with it. And I did open it before to see how big we wanted the screen, you know. So Sony didn't package it like this. That's just how I put it back in the box. Now it seems really strange to me to take something like this and just turn it upside down, set it on the ground, but obviously we have nice new carpet. There's nothing on it to scratch it, nice padding, so it's not going to get hurt. It's just that I'm not used to spending this much money, so everything I do with it scares me to death. But here are 3 mount holes, and hopefully we can figure out how to mount this thing. Alright. Next step, finding the right screws. Thank goodness I don't have to use all these screws and bolts that came in this kit. Kind of intimidating, along with the instructions. But right now, I'm supposed to find 3 screws that thread into that mount. Alright, so here's where it's probably going to get a little messed up. I just hope this works. I really don't feel like dropping this projector on the floor. Alright, so we have the right screws. They fit. Alright. Can't pull them out. They thread easily with the hand. Now it says insert screws through M4 flat washer, screw adapters with height adjustable nuts, and onto projector holes. Now the problem is, this doesn't really look like the picture, but I don't see anything else in there. So, no, that can't be right. Because that's not enough threads to go into the projector. Cut, and look for more parts. Alright, so they tricked me. These are for the mount that threads into the legs. It screws this to the mount that clips into the mount up in the ceiling. Very confusing, I know. But I'm human. So I found the nuts they were talking about. They hid them on the legs. They didn't have them in little plastic bags. It's got 2 locking tabs right here. It's supposed to hit those locking tabs, but I have to push it. I really haven't figured out how to do it yet, but you kind of push on it and this thing unlocks. Somehow I got it out off camera. Of course now I can't, but that's cool. That's what this video series is all about. Oh, there it goes. Unlock it, comes out just like that. Then take your screw that you've already picked out for your projector. And if I lose one of these washers in these vent holes, I'm gonna be really mad. Anyway, put the screw. Oh, the washer's not big enough. Are you serious? I don't think I need one. Oh wait, I think it did say that's only if you had M4. Yeah, there we go. I don't need it. Just put the screw right into there. Screw this into the projector. You see what we're doing here, right? That's tight. That seems kind of loose. Might be what this adjustment is. Adjustment there, probably not. Nope, that's not that adjustment. Cut. So what take are we on now? I don't know. Okay, the instructions say that with this screw that I'm using, that I don't have to use this washer. The problem is my screw is bottoming out in the bottom of my projector mount hole, so I have to have a washer. They're a little bit too small, but I'm just going to thread them into place. You shouldn't have to thread a washer, but I mean, not that big of a deal. See, now it's all the way bottom against the head of the screw. Then I can put it in here. There we go. Put that back in. Hopefully that'll be tight, because obviously when I tightened it before and this mount was wiggling around, that wasn't right. There we go. Now it's tightening down like it's supposed to. And it tells you to have this as low as possible. That way you have everything tight. You have the legs as tight as possible. This will be tightened to the mount. So now I'll just go ahead and do the rest. Now, after ensuring that all these are the same height, as low as possible, to clear any obstructions that may be on the projector. Good thing is my projector bottom is flat, so I won't have anything to clear. I made sure to ensure that it had enough threads on each one. So make sure that the leg is in the open position. Slide it over. Lock it into place. That's a little weird. It's locked. You ever feel like sometimes something should be easier? I don't know if you're making it more difficult on yourself or what. Maybe it's not down all the way or something, I don't know. Actually, I know. Alright, so what I found is you really need to get down here on this thing level. Open this back up, take it back out. You want to make sure this adjustable nut is fully inside of here, which is a good thing. It won't lock unless it's all the way engaged. That way you know that it's not going to fall, but it does make it more difficult. So, decide to lay here on the ground. Now I can see that it's fully engaged. Then, try to pull the lock out. Still not the easiest thing in the world to do, but I guess that makes it more secure. It's going, I see it. Oh. Somebody is going to see this video and go, you idiot. All you had to do was blink and it would have popped right on. Oh, man, I got the other one off camera easy. Well, that was not even clipped in all the way. That one is. This one's on all the way. And you can tell by a little hole right here that we're going to put a screw in later to keep it locked in place. So it doesn't just rely on just locking in place. This thing has plenty of features to keep your projector safe. Come on. Man, this is frustrating. We go back to this? I thought this one was done. There. That one's locked. That one's locked. Now this one is not. Whew, what a pain in the butt. Come on. Come on, sweetness. Whew. Now they're locked. Ooh. I got, believe it or not, they're on there. Now we have these locks in place. You're gonna notice that in this installation there are brackets on top of brackets that attach to brackets and brackets and more brackets. So these brackets locked in. Now we have to find a good combination for these studs to go in through one of three of these holes of this bracket, and these are the pins that I was talking about that engage up on the ceiling. Obviously you want your base to be as straight as possible. When we put on the mount, you'll have the least amount of adjustments to make. And obviously you want the projector to be as close to straight with your screen as possible, because anytime you have to use any type of adjustment on the lens, picture quality goes down and it's just not the best thing. So I'm gonna really take my time. It might actually take me a couple days. I might get frustrated with it, have to stop, but whatever. I'm gonna take my time into getting this thing straight and level, plumb, all those words. All right, that's on there. We're gonna tighten it up. Ooh. Tries to move while tightening. And this isn't too bad. I mean, I've never done this before, so we're figuring it out with the instructions that's on there. Tight. Holds it pretty secure. I was a little scared at first, but it's on there. And now it talks about installing security screws. If you remember, whenever I was trying to get those aggravating things locked into place, there's a spot on each side to put security screws to lock everything in place. It actually says it's kind of a security measure also. I don't know, I'm afraid if a crackhead comes in, tries to steal everything, they're just gonna beat the mess out of it and won't be able to use it anyway. But it is an Allen head screw that has a little, well, you can't see, it's not wanting to focus, but it's got a little tab on the inside there so that a regular Allen wrench won't fit in there. They give you the included tool. It's a little Allen wrench with a hole in it. Fits right in place. As far as security feature, I couldn't tell you if it actually is, but I'm gonna put it in there to make sure everything is locked in place. All right, as you can see, I had to loosen this up, swing this out of the way to get to that security screw hole and actually put it in there. So I guess that would actually act as my security screw, because nobody's gonna get to that if they try to steal it. But like I said, it's only gonna be an honest thief that's gonna keep from taking that. But this base also locks into the top, and that's another security feature. But I saw on a YouTube video one time of a guy installing this, to make sure you don't lose this, is to keep it right there. I might just put this one in there as well. That way that we know that we're not gonna lose it. And this will remind me that these screws are in there locking this in place. Because you saw how hard of a time I had loosening this up. I would probably just about bash this thing with a hammer. I'd get so aggravated with it, with those screws in place. So hopefully this will help remind me that, hey stupid, there's screws in. So now with that all done, I'm gonna check it a little bit more, make sure everything is on there nice and sturdy. And then we're gonna put it up on the mount. We're gonna attach the mount to the mount to the mount. So we're back at our ceiling mount. You gotta make sure that you're locked, or unlocked actually. This is the tab that we messed with earlier. Make sure it's unlocked. Pick up the heavy projector. My Allen wrenches moving around. Ooh, I cannot see. Feels like that locked into place. Hold it with one hand, slide it back, and it's secured. And there we have it. It's not fully installed, but everything is in place. I still got to do a lot of adjustments to make sure that it's going to be square with the screen, plumb, level, all that good stuff we talked about. But I mainly wanted to get this up, get it mounted, see how it's going to work, make sure that it works with my projector, and it does. Now, I'm 5'10". This thing barely clears my head. Now, I'm standing on a riser. I don't even remember how tall the riser is at this point, so it's been so long since I built it, but I'm up on a riser. And then we have the mount with the 6-inch pipe, and then however size the projector is. The good thing is, this is all going to be seats back here, so it's not going to be a spot where people are going to be walking back and forth. Now, we have a friend that's 6'7". It doesn't matter what height the ceiling is or what projector you got, he's probably going to run into it. So I'm going to limit him to sitting in the front. But projector is installed, another step closer. Alright, so my son just informed me that with his calibrated eyeball that the riser is about 1/2 foot. So if you know what 1/2 foot is, 6 inches, right? Well, I remembered I did 2x6s and then 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood on it. That brings us up to 6 3/4 inch, something like that. So that's pretty good, bud. So what do you think about the projector install? Do you think the chief mount is too expensive? Do you think that it's a little too aggravating? Well, it did take me an afternoon to do it, but that's because I knew you were watching and I wanted to make it right. So it's up there, it's secured. I'm not hanging off of it, nothing like that, but it definitely feels secure enough for me to have this expensive projector up in the air. So please like and subscribe. We are close to watching movies.
Yeah.
Idiot.